Welcome back to SnowRunner. You join us today at the factory in Northport, Alaska in the GMC MH9500, and we're going to start today by looking at the mission Stonefall. This involves taking metal beams to Stonefall and opening up the track that's there. So we thought we'd grab hold of the GMC and just take them straight there and get it opened up. We do have a vehicle nearby. I think the Scout 800's up there somewhere from when we were exploring, but it's just another job to get done, and this seemed to be the best place to do it from the factory itself. So we're just going to mark up the route we're going to take. It's not too far. It should be a fairly simple journey, I would say. But it's a nice way to start the episode, getting a nice little job out of the way. And then we've got something else we want to do afterwards. We want to go and find a truck. This is a truck that we saw at the end of the episode where we was exploring Northport, Alaska. We didn't quite make it there because of the lack of fuel in the Scout 800. I'm hoping today we go and get that truck. I think there's also an upgrade nearby as well, so there could be a couple of things to grab while we're there. And then we'll have a look at the truck, and then we'll try and use it on another job and see what we think of it, really. That's the plan for today, anyway. So I hope everyone's enjoying this series. If you are, a like on the episodes does really help the channel, and I appreciate everyone who does watch these videos. So we're making our way now, nice and easy. The track's not too bad. Obviously, GMC is definitely coming into its own in Northport, Alaska. I don't know what it is. I've said this many times about the GMC. We hated it at the start of the game with its road tyres. The minute we put better tyres on, it surpassed everything else. It was brilliant. And then we put chain tyres on it in Alaska, and yeah, I'm really loving driving it. I think the snow, the chain tyres, there's something about it for the GMC that really suits it. I'm not saying it's the best truck in the world, but it is definitely getting up there with the favourite ones to drive at the minute, which is good. It's nice to see these trucks redeeming themselves when the right conditions for them come into play. Okay, we're just heading up this hill here. We may struggle to get up, I'm not sure. Let's see how we go. Come on. We're in low range in the gears as it is. Should be okay. Yeah, made it up the hill. I wasn't sure if we would or not, to be fair. I had the winch ready to go just in case. But we've made it up the hill, and we can now deliver the metal beams and complete the mission Stonefall and open up the little track that's here. We've now jumped into the Scout 800, and we're just plotting our route to where we're going to go and get this upgrade. It's just, you can see the upgrade just there, actually, to be fair. It's just this water's the problem. We should be okay in the Scout. And there's the vehicle we're looking to pick up as our new vehicle to join the fleet, the ever-growing fleet of vehicles. I had someone message me the other day and say, you should be buying vehicles, you should use modded vehicles, you make life a little bit easier. I don't know. For me, I just think buying vehicles kind of defeats the point. I'd rather find them, and I know doesn't mean we're not going to drive every vehicle, because we're not going to. If we don't buy them, you're not going to be able to find every vehicle out in the open. So it does mean some vehicles we won't ever drive. It also means the game's a little bit harder, because you can only use what we've got. And I like to swap vehicles as much as possible. But yeah, mods I think are cheating, because I know there's mods out there where they can drive through any conditions and it doesn't do anything. So I'd rather struggle along, if that makes sense, and just do what we can do with what we've got, essentially. I think, the majority of jobs we can manage. It may just take longer than normal because there could be a better truck we could buy. But yeah, I don't really fancy buying trucks if we can avoid it. And I don't think we need to. There may be a time later on we say, maybe I need to find a list of trucks you can't find. And if that's the case, then we can buy those. Maybe that's the way I need to look at it. I'm not sure. That could be an idea, actually. Let me know in the comments what you think. Should we try and get a list together of trucks you cannot find within the game itself for free? And that list, we will then occasionally buy a new truck from that list. Because that way we're not doing anything different other than the fact we can't naturally find that truck. Yeah, let me know what you think about that. That's not a bad shout, actually. That's something to think about, isn't it? Now, this water is causing us some issues. Don't fall over. Don't do it. We're trying to get across to this upgrade. It's on this right-hand side. But I was trying to find the nicest part of the water to drive in, and none of it's nice. Maybe we go through the trees. If possible, I think. If we can find a gap through the trees, that would be our best bet here. Stay out of the water. The only downside of going through trees, you can't always see what's the other side. So this may become an issue. We'll see. But let's see if we can get through these trees. I think. I just don't think the water's very good to us at this point. I don't know. We all know the Scout 100 is fantastic for what it does, but it is just struggling in the water. So let's see if we can find a winch point, and then we can try and move forward. We're in a bit of a mud patch at the minute, so we do need something to help us move forward. I don't want to be in a small bush that's going to fall over, though. It's got to be a proper point. Although we haven't got the winch on, we're actually managing to get out ourselves there. That actually worked out right then. I thought a winch was needed, but actually, no. Okay, make our way through the trees. I think we do this, stay out of the water as much as possible. We'll go too deep into the trees, but let's try and skirt around the edge. Don't fall over. Oh, just managed to save ourselves there with a tree. I'm getting better at saving ourselves. I must admit. It's taken some practice, but I think we are getting better. Okay. The upgrade's not too far away. I'm hoping it's something good for something we actually own. But we'll see. Right, through the other side. Can't see where we are. There we go. Just make out where we are. There's the upgrade on the right-hand side. No, 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 no. Ah. Okay, that is the Scout 800's first flip of the day. If you currently have your scoreboards ready. For counting how many flips Scout 800 does in an episode where it's used. We're on number 1 as it stands. I'm hoping 1's the only one today, to be fair. Come on. We've got winches back on its feet. Come on. Swing it round if we can. There we go. Swing, 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 swing. Keep going, keep going. We're there. Come on, drop. There we go. Back on its feet. It's a bit of an awkward position, to be fair. But we've picked up an engageable all-wheel drive. Okay. So it's an engageable all-wheel drive upgrade, but it's not for anything we own. It's for the Caterpillar, which we don't have. So that's a bit of a disappointment. It always is when you get an upgrade that's something you can't use or you don't own. But that's one of those things, isn't it? At least we've collected it. That's the main thing. Right, on to the Royal BM17. That's what we're looking for next. Which is actually just across the water. But it potentially means we have to go across the water. We need to work this out. I think we need to go to the right. Yeah. That's looking very deep. This may be a bad decision. Come on. Struggling in the water as well to move. We're in low range gears minus or low minus. Well, I don't know how you want to say it, to be fair. I think it's a SnowRunner gearbox we've got on the Scout 800. So we have extra low gears essentially. I think we have a low and a low high, I think. Not too sure how you say the difference between the two. I know the difference in terms of one's slower, one's faster, but I don't quite know how you say that, if that makes sense. Right, we're just going to keep crawling along here. We've got the winch connected, that's helped a little bit. We haven't got too far to go, but it's getting there. And getting through the mud and the water and stuff. It's always tricky, these little bits like this, just because you just don't know what you're going to come up against in terms of, you know, you're going to get stuck. How easy is it going to be to navigate and move through stuff? And at the minute, this mud in the water is proving to be pretty tricky to get through. Use the winch as much as we can, I think. Okay, back on even ground, it's not too bad. But well, actually, to be fair, we're still getting stuck in places. The ground's not fantastic. I'd say it's down to the snow as well, to be fair. Don't roll. Don't do it. Still number 1 of the rolling scorecards. Don't think about it. To be fair, this vehicle looks to be up the track a little bit, so maybe we don't have to go through the water, really. We can keep around this right-hand side. Maybe I have to go that way to get it. But we need to stay on the right, if possible. Okay, come on, Scout. Do your thing. Never really had any issues with the Scout, so I was hoping this would be the best vehicle for it. We have also got Scout vehicle-wise a Chevrolet, but I'm loath to use it on the water. I think that would struggle as well, to be fair. but we only own 2 scouts currently. We could have sent one of a bigger vehicle, but I don't know if we need to fix anything on this before we can recover it. So I wanted to take something obviously that we could fix things if needed, i.e. the scout can carry a lot more stuff to fix and fuel. So I'm hoping if we have to fix it before we recover it, we've got everything on us we need to do so. So it should be through here. New truck discovered, the Royal BM17. Can't quite see it yet as it's in the trees. Can we swap straight to it? We can. There we go. And it starts up. That tells me we can recover. We can recover it. That is the Royal BM17 in our garage as well. Okay, cool. Looks pretty similar to the Fleet Star and GMC and stuff like that, doesn't it, really? Let's have a look what's under the hood. So we've got the engine. It's got... See, engines I'm always a bit unsure of. I'm not always unsure whether we need to change engines, because according to this, it's got the best engine. I think the lowest one would be the best if you rank them, I would assume. Because we've only got... That's more power, I would say. So the smaller engine there, which we own, must have been about upgraded, must have picked up. Gives it more fuel efficiency. But the one we actually using is more power, I think. I don't know. I'm always confused about which one of these we should be using. So we'll see how we go, I think, with that. Gearbox, we could give it an off-road gearbox. I think it's probably worth it. We are doing a lot of off-road stuff. It just means you get more low gears, essentially. Does take down our fuel efficiency. But yeah, we'll put the off-road gearbox on as well. That's all fine. Tyres-wise, we have to change these to chains. We'll go for as big as we can. But they'll be all chains. Winch, we'll stick to what we've got. Snorkel, yeah, I think we'll change the snorkel to the wedge cap. I don't mind that one. And then, what can it have on the back? Lots of things, by looks of things. It's always good. Versatility is always good. And it can also do all 3 types of logs. That's good to know. I always like that, especially considering a lot of vehicles can't do the medium logs. That's definitely something that's going to help us then. So yeah, this can do all types of logs. I don't normally do this on camera, and we don't normally mess with cosmetics too much. But I've been putting whatever DLC skins there are that we've got, I've been putting them on, essentially. Right, mission time. Let's get this truck used. So, we've got a mission where there's 2 containers in a river. Called Containers in the River, I know. Good name for a mission. We're going to go there, pick up a container, put it on the BM17. The Royal BM17, sorry. And take it to the port. Hence why we've also got the crane on the back as well to help with this kind of thing. So to me, this is similar to the Fleet Star, GMC, Chevrolet Kodiak. It's kind of in that realm of vehicle. Whether it's more powerful or not, I don't know. But I would say it's in that realm of these kind of workhorses. It's not the biggest truck in the world. It's not going to be hauling the really big stuff. But it's going to be doing a decent job alongside the smaller workhorse kind of trucks. I don't know if there is a name for different types of trucks. I might have to have a look and see if there is a name. You know, is there small trucks, large trucks? I've got no idea of names of trucks. Just in case there is. But yeah, workhorses are we going to call these ones. The Fleet Star and the Royal BM17. We'll see how we go. So far though, on the road, not bad. Good speed as well, which was pretty good. Okay, round here, and then we should see the water and where these are. Damage the engine a little bit, but it should be fine. I think if I remember correctly, they're next to the bridge. There's a wooden bridge here, and the containers. Yes, they're next to it. There we go. Containers in the river. So we'll pick one of these up, and then we're going to take it to the port. We'll be interested to see how we get on with the port run. It's not too far, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we do. In terms of, are we going to get stuck anyway? Is it going to struggle in some locations? Now, why you all laugh at me using the crane? I'm horrendous at the crane, I know this. I don't know what it is, I just struggle with the movements, I think. I'm kind of remembering up and down that as well is kind of an issue. And attaching it in the wrong place, like right at the far end or something. Or the furthest distance from our from our truck, and that's obviously putting more pressure on the crane. So I do all those things, and I am rubbish at cranes, but we kind of need to get better. Although this one's not gone too badly so far. I think it is practice makes perfect. It's getting better though. Can we get down though? That's my problem, is trying to now manoeuvre it down and the crane to go in towards the truck front. And I keep putting it out instead. I can't get that movement right. I don't know what it is. I just can't. Every time I want it to go, the crane to go towards the truck, it goes out. I don't want it to go out. I want it to go in. Oh, come on. It's kind of too close to the crane as well, one side, but there we go. If it hits the crane, it'll just stop it moving. Try to turn it. If we can turn it and drop it, I think we're in a good position. Yeah, I have this issue with cranes. I don't know what we're going to do to keep practicing, but we need to do something. Right, it's down. Well, that class is probably not. A bit more. I don't want to give it an excuse when we pack up to eject it or do something silly with it. So I think we're there. Will it allow us to pack? It does. Okay, container is now on board. I wasn't sure if it would allow us to do that, to be fair. Okay, so route we've got to take. Come to this road. Come back on ourselves there. And then it's a straight run to the port. Across the bridge we built. Nice and simple. Hopefully. How will the Royal BM17 deal with everything? Time to find out, isn't it? It's got a decent rating in terms of fuel. 280 it can hold, which isn't too bad, to be fair. I should really have a proper look at my whole list, shouldn't I? I've got a spreadsheet of all the trucks and how they all stand up. So 280 is probably our third highest fuel amount of fuel that can be held. The Western Star 6900 twin steer is first with 360. A couple of 300s, and yeah, the 280 is about third place, roughly. Fuel. Power to weight was an A, I believe. Pretty good. We've got a lot of A pluses and S pluses, so yeah, not too bad. A minus durability, that's pretty good compared to some of them. A lot of our original stuff like the Fleet Star is only B pluses, but A minus not too bad. And then fuel consumption is a B. To be fair, every vehicle is a B of sorts, bar the Scouts. All the Scouts are S's when it comes to fuel efficiency. And we've got a C in there as well. So yeah, kind of bog standard, as I say. Just be interesting to see how it holds up against the Fleet Star and the like. I think it'll be fine, but you just never know, do you? That's the thing. Right, we are struggling to get up the hill, mainly because I was too busy chatting away and talking and looking at something else. Now, I'm not surprised we're struggling to get up the hill. This hill is horrible to get up, but that's where the winch comes in handy. Whether we should have put a better winch on, I don't know. I'm not too. There's a few things I'm not too sure of, to be fair. But yeah, the winch is definitely one of them. I don't know whether we should upgrade the winch on every vehicle, maybe, or just the trucks we use a lot. Although we try and change trucks, don't we? So yeah, not sure on that one. Something else for you to guys think about. Let me know what you think. You know, do we put the best winch on all of them, and then how do you know which is the best winch? Is it strongest, longest? That's the thing. But yeah, that's something we might have to look at, I think. Especially if you're carrying heavy loads, you need a better winch for that. Maybe we should have, like, yeah, but do you go for long or do you go for strength? That's the thing. I don't know, maybe I need to have a proper look at the winches and see what we need to do. But we're back on course, back on the main road now, heading to the port in the Royal BM17. And yeah, other than that hill, which was the crossover point, which we kind of knew has always been tricky for every truck to use. So it's not the BM's fault. It's just one of those routes that's not fun, but is needed a lot. That's the thing. But we're getting close to the port, over our bridge that we built ourselves when we first arrived. There we go. It's a very nice bridge, if I do say so myself, to be fair. And then we'll just keep going. It's a straight run now. There's no real issues, or shouldn't be any issues, getting to the port from here. It should be a straight run. You can see it coming up in the distance. There we go. And then we're just going to find where we're delivering these to. Once we get past this bit, where are we going? Through the entrance, and then delivery point dead ahead. Ah, nice and simple. Well, the Royal BM17, I think, did a pretty good job there. We got stuck where we expected to get stuck, which isn't a bad thing. And we have delivered the first of the 2 containers. We've now jumped into the GMC MH9500 that we used earlier on today for the Stonefall mission. We've recovered it. It came back to the garage, and we're now picking up the second container. The reason I didn't want to drive back with the Royal BM, I just thought, well, we've used Royal BM, we've given it a good go, we'll use something else for the second one, and this seemed to be just the best fit to be ready to go straight away, really. I could have driven the Royal BM17 all the way back, but I'm hoping there's something to pick up at the port for it to go somewhere else with, if that makes sense. I don't like recovering trucks unless we have to, and at the same time, once we've got to a destination, to come back empty is pointless. If you're going to come back anywhere, you really want to be carrying something. That's how I see things anyway. You know, no empty journeys, essentially, is what I try and do. Not as simple as that always, to be fair. But, yeah, I just thought, okay, we'll send another truck to the port, and hopefully there's a couple of missions there that the trucks can utilise their positioning, and they can then go from there to where we're going to deliver to, if that makes sense. It does seem like we're spending a lot of time around the port area. We haven't really been to... We've been to northern areas of the map when we were exploring in the scout. We haven't done any real jobs around there. So maybe that's something we need to look at, is jobs further north the map. Especially since, you know, there can be more vehicles to find, there can be more up... There probably is more upgrades, to be fair. Plus the tunnels to go through to the other maps, because we know there's other maps linked to Alaska. But obviously we've got to find the entrances somewhere. I think we've found one so far. But yeah. Okay. Crane wasn't too bad. We got it on board. Get it strapped up and ready to rumble. There we go. Let's go. We know where we're going. It should be a fairly straight run. We come out of here. And then main road, take a left. And it's first left to come back on ourselves. We also know the GMC can handle this journey. It's done it a few times already, so it's handy to know. When you've got a new truck, it does fill you with a bit of nervousness. Will you make it? Will you get stuck? And you know, we know these trucks can't talk to each other, but imagine if they can in the garage. That would be quite funny. Right, main road here. I'm just, you know, drowsy. If I start talking absolute rubbish, that is because I'm half asleep. That's the drowsiness kicking in. I apologise in advance. I've noticed on a few videos now, if you notice I start slurring my words in the live stream or in videos, then it's because I'm hitting that point of I'm not in fully control anymore, which doing SnowRunner is never a fun thing, because you can find you mess up missions quite easily. I've done it a few times. I've edited out things that have been quite obvious at times, and I've redone talking when needed if I've come across really weird and strange and sleep. But yeah, it's one of those. Just pre-warning. It's an issue I'm working on badly, to put it that way. Right, fleet start making progress. I think this is the cut back across, isn't it, to the main road, if I remember correctly. Let's just reset camera. Look at that. I do like the view from inside. This is where the Royal BM17 got stuck itself as well. So GMC, same place as the Royal, getting stuck. Which is the place we expect, to be honest. It's just a little hill. I don't know what I should call it, but it is just, I don't know what it is about it, but it's just something that catches us out with all the vehicles. It doesn't look bad when you look at it, but as you get onto it, it can be really tricky. Come on. And the view's not very good at the minute. We'll get that sorted in a second. We're just going to keep trying to move forward. Come on. Just struggling so much to get up here. To be fair, I think the GMC is struggling more than the Royal did. For whatever reason, the Royal did better here. I didn't think the GMC would struggle this much, to be honest. I thought it might struggle a bit, because every vehicle does, but that struggled a hell of a lot to get up here. Which says that the Royal then did a really good job. Yes, we had to use the winch, but it's definitely easier than this. Come on. Once we hit that main road and head right, it's a straight run. Nothing else like that. Come on, GMC. Better than this. I was talking earlier about how good the GMC is in the snow now. And it's let me down a little bit there. Come on, right hand turn, you're home straight then after that. We are good to go. It shouldn't have any more issues now, say this, but now I'm a bit unsure. I don't think we've ever had that issue with the GMC previously there. I can think of. Yeah, didn't quite go to plan. And yeah, like I say, I don't know if the Royal then shows that it's better because of how it did. Not sure. That's something we've got to think about as well. So many things. SnowRunner's not a simple game of pick up A, deliver to B, use this truck. It's not as simple as that at times. It's working out best truck, best job to do. What order do you do things in? You know, what does the job require? What does the vehicle require? It's a weird one, but enjoyable at the same time. I know there's many iterations of this. Obviously, Expeditions is another game we want to do at some point, but I've said we won't do Expeditions on the channel until SnowRunner's done. But since they keep adding DLC to SnowRunner, that could be a very long time. So at some point, I've got to make this decision about Expeditions. I might just have to do it. I don't know. And obviously, we've got Roadcraft coming out too. Another one I want to look at as well. Although I kind of want to do that live. That's something I need to think about as well. But we're here. We've made it to the port in the GMC MH9500 with the second container, and that is containers in the river complete. Another job done. So we've completed 2 jobs today, gained an upgrade, and also got a brand new truck in the Royal BM17. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, a like on the episode really does help. And we'll see you next time as we continue on in SnowRunner.